close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be 13 tips and tricks for studying. I decided to make this video because I am actually right now in midterm week, so I am taking all my midterms. It's very stressful, and I thought all of you guys would like to have some tips and tricks that I've learned over studying for so long, and I thought it would be useful to help somebody out, help study, because I know it can get very stressful and very hard all the time. I hate midterm week because you're taking 4 tests, big tests, and it's not like if you fail, like, oh, it's okay. Like, this one really matters. So I decided to come up with 13 tips and tricks, and I'm going to explain them to you now. If I keep looking back over here, it's because I have them all written down on my computer. But the first one I have is take your time. You don't need to rush and like worry about the time, if they time you or how much time you have left. Just take your time, because if you keep worrying about like how much time you have left, you're really not going to do as much. You're mostly going to rush. And I would also say, like, pace yourself, but don't give you like 1 minute for each question. Like, give yourself a good time. If you're not getting the answer right away, skip that question, circle it, right, come back, and continue moving on, and then come back to your packets. The next one I have is also look back over your answers. Like, our school does Scantrons and booklets. Not all the time, but only for midterms and regents we do them for our high school. In our middle school, we used to do all Scantrons, but we don't really do that anymore. So I would look over to make sure you have what your booklet says and what your Scantron says and compare them together, because that has happened to me that I've checked it and they're not the same. So I reread the question and make sure I have the answer that best fits that question. So that one is a really good tip. The next one I have is study every day. Let's say that you have a test next week and you know about it and it's the week before. Start studying now. Even if it's like a half hour each day, you're only going to get better, and you can continue learning and getting more information, and you'll be extra prepared. Next one I have is take breaks. So right now I will usually study for about an hour and a half, and then take an hour break and then go back, or sometimes like shorter breaks, sometimes shorter studying time. It honestly really depends on what subject I'm learning or what subject I'm studying about. So let's say if it's math, it's a little bit harder than social studies, something like that. So always take your breaks, because you really need them. Always chew gum. Somehow it's like a scientific research study that they've shown that chewing gum really does help. Honestly, it helps me a lot, so much. I really don't know, but I can feel when I'm chewing gum, the stuff, like everything that I've studied has come back, and it helps me a lot. So I really say chew gum, or eat a mint or something like that. Something minty, but mostly chew gum. And essential oils, like I have right there, an essential oil diffuser, is really helpful too. It kind of relaxes your mind and gets you onto that studying mode. The first one that they say to use is peppermint. I don't know if it's going to focus. Well, the first one I have is peppermint. It's probably not going to focus, but peppermint is honestly really good for you. Peppermint is a like spa-like kind of, and it makes you feel relaxed, so that one really helps you. The next one is rosemary, and rosemary helps you focus a lot, so this is the rosemary one that I have. The next one is sweet orange, and sweet orange is like a motivator, and honestly this one works a lot. I've tried it before and it really motivates you. It's like an energy smell pretty much, and it does motivate you a lot. And the last one they tell you to use is eucalyptus. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. It honestly like energizes you, and all these smells, you can probably mix them all together and give you all the same exact effect. It's really helpful, and if you want to make your own essential oil, or maybe even your favorite essential oil, that can help you as well too. Essential oils I really like, and because they honestly really help me. The next one I have is taking a lot of notes. Taking a lot of notes not only just prepare you, but helps you with everything that you can do. You can always read over them, and that's a good studying way you can use. When you are taking your notes, if you have something like science gives you, I know in the high school they do this, they give you a reference table and it has everything that you don't have to remember in this booklet. You're able to take this on your test. For your midterm, you're able to use what you have because you have written all over it and done everything with it, colored in it, written all over it, highlighted everything. You've even put notes on here. I know for the final, you're not allowed to use this because they don't want you using what you already had, so you have to use a brand new one. But for a midterm, why not use it? So what I did, because I wanted more information on, as I said, the rocks and minerals that I didn't know about, and relativity, immunity, and dew points, and everything else that I really wasn't 100% sure on. I watched videos, I took quizzes, wrote down the questions and the correct answers, and this is what I did, and honestly, it's probably going to help me so much. I can go back to this. It's not on a correct page, honestly, just what I found that has empty space that I can use, and they're not going to look to make sure that you didn't write anything because your teachers want you to write on this stuff. So if you can use something that you can bring to the test and use, I would take as much notes as you possibly can and put it on here so you can do the best you can do. What I also like to use is search up the topic that I'm looking up. For example, I typed in dew point and relative humidity, and I took like a 30-question quiz. It gives you the correct answer even if you get it wrong. So if you get it wrong, it shows you the correct answer. And honestly, taking those quizzes, even though you don't know it's the exact same question, but you kind of have like another understanding and another way that they can ask you that question, and it's also another good way to study and have good practice. The next one I have is not all of you guys can actually use, but since I am a triplet and I have two siblings that are in the same exact grade as me, some of us take our quizzes, our tests, our midterms, whatever, earlier. You honestly really can't do this for regions because you kind of take them all at the same time, same day, like same everything. But for midterms and quizzes and tests, even if you don't have the same teacher, it's pretty much the same because they all like do everything pretty much the same for the same department. So I would usually ask our siblings, and if they ask me, I will tell them. Like for example, Kyle's like, oh yeah, there's rocks and minerals on the science midterm, and I'm like, well, we've never learned that. So I went today and I researched as much as I could find about rocks and minerals, and I tried to take some quizzes to learn more about rocks and minerals. So it's really helpful even if you have a friend. Maybe you don't have a sibling in the same grade, but even if you have a friend, you can always ask them, and I'm sure they will help you and you will help them. Getting a good night's sleep is honestly the best. You don't want to take a test or a quiz or a midterm or whatever you're taking and feel so sleepy. So usually go to bed like a little bit earlier than what you usually do. And once you go to bed, don't go on your phone, don't go on your computer. Just honestly just lay there and try and go into sleep and try and get a good night's sleep, because I know that really does work. Eating a good breakfast not only like motivates you, but also gives you good energy, and it makes you feel full, and it honestly helps you a lot. I know a lot of people say eat a good breakfast, eat a lot of protein or something that you like, and honestly it's gonna really take the focus on, you're going to bring the focus mostly onto your studying and not really on other things, and it also won't make you feel hungry. Believe in yourself and always take the first answer you see. So you can't always say, oh, I'm gonna fail, and always be negative. You have to be positive during tests. You have to believe in yourself, and that's a big thing in me. Before I take the test, after I take the test, even during when I'm taking the test, I always say, I can do this, I'm going to pass, I'm not going to fail. Pick the correct answer, narrow it down, and you're going to do fine. Honestly, you have to be good to yourself. You can't be negative. Picking the correct answer, because they always say your first instinct is always your best one. And from somebody that has learned the hard way, and I mean the hard way, I really do mean it. Always pick your first answer. So many people have told me that, and I've never listened to them. I always pick the second answer, and honestly, I'm like, that was my first answer. So now what I'm telling you, always pick your first answer. The next one and the last one I have is if you have more than one period or one then more day, take that time and whatever you didn't know, go back home and restudy it, look it up. Like for an example, our Italian test, we had to write an essay over 100 words on travel. I didn't know how to say seat or ticket. I honestly remembered it. I went back, stopped what I was doing, and remembered how I was studying to study those words. Then I started to remember the words again. But like now, I took that test yesterday. I can take it again today and fix it and finish it. Pretty much not fix it, but finish it. I can go home right now, study what I didn't remember, go back to the test and fix it and get myself a better grade. And if you guys have any more tips and tricks, please let me know in the description box below, because you're not only helping me, but you're also helping everybody else who's watching this video. I hope all these tips and tricks help you. I hope you guys like this video. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel down below, and hit that post notification bell on so you can get notified every single time we upload a video. We upload every Monday and Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye guys.